Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a like up. Many WWE superstars will be in action at WrestleMania 41, but Triple H has left out a lot of names from the card as well. Considering the situation some of these stars find themselves in, it is quite puzzling that they haven't been booked for the PLE. WrestleMania 41 currently has 13 matches scheduled on its card. Major names like John Cena, Roman Reigns, Cody Rhodes, CM Punk, Seth Rollins, Rhea Ripley, Charlotte Flair, Bianca Belair, and more are scheduled to appear. Meanwhile, new stars will also appear at the show of shows like Penta, Jacob Fatu, and El Grande Americano. Although many notable stars will be present for the show, a lot of former world champions will miss out. Only the World Tag Team Championship will be defended at WrestleMania 41, which the War Raiders will defend against the New Day. Due to this, many are wondering why Street Profits aren't among the teams featured as well. It's safe to say that SmackDown's tag team division has been more active and exciting these past few months. Although the WWE Tag Team Championship keeps changing hands, the storyline continues to be enjoyable to watch, and Montez Ford and Angelo Dawkins have been active champions. If there is any team that shouldn't have missed out on the show of shows, it is them. Nia Jax becoming the WWE Women's Champion at last year's SummerSlam wasn't the most welcome decision, but fans eventually warmed up to the idea as her reign went on. After Tiffany Stratton cashed in the Money in the Bank contract, Nia continued her partnership with Candice LeRae and had a brief feud with the current Women's Champion. After a stellar championship run last year, it's disappointing if her absence at this year's event is final. Braun Strowman missed WrestleMania 40 due to a neck injury. Unfortunately, despite not having any injuries, it looks like the former Universal Champion will also miss this year's event. Strowman has been active since returning from the aforementioned injury. He feuded with Bronson Reed, and most recently was LA Knight's #1 contender until Jacob Fatu took that spot. He has become a vital star on SmackDown, and it's a shame if his absence at this year's event is final. The last time Sheamus competed in a televised WWE match was at the Royal Rumble. Many months have passed since then, and despite being part of the European tour, he still didn't appear on any Raw or SmackDown shows. Unfortunately, it looks like his absence will continue until the weekend. The Celtic Warrior always delivers hard-hitting and exciting performances, whether on a regular weekly show or a premium live event. Recently, he even threw his hat in to be Randy Orton's opponent after the latter's match with Kevin Owens was cancelled. One name that many are shocked to learn will miss the show of shows is Alexa Bliss. She was missing from the Stamford-based promotion for a couple of years and received a loud ovation when she returned this year at the Royal Rumble. Although Alexa appeared on the following SmackDown shows and was even part of the Elimination Chamber, with many thinking a feud with Liv Morgan was possible, it seems like there are no creative plans for her at Mania. Hazel is a WWE features writer for Sportskeeda Wrestling. Currently a BS psychology student in her third year, she ensures that multiple accurate and reliable sources back every piece of information in her articles. She phrases even mundane information in her own words, especially when using single sources like books or social media posts to add a hint of personal touch. Hazel has had a penchant for writing since high school. Apart from pursuing humanities and social sciences for her senior year, she attended classes about creative and non-fiction writing. In 2019, Hazel started working as a ghostwriter, and 3 years later, she began working for Sportskeeda. In 2023, she became a published author under 8 Letters Books publishing house. Even today, when she is not studying as a pre-med student or writing for Sportskeeda, she enjoys reading and writing novels. Her favorite wrestlers are Edge and Randy Orton. She recalls watching John Cena vs Big Show vs Edge in WrestleMania 25 in her first wrestling match. Hazel enjoyed the entrances, and what got her hooked was how cool and ruthless Edge was and how John Cena never backed down from his challenges. WrestleMania 41 was nothing short of a spectacle. From Cody Rhodes finally finishing his story to a generational promo battle between The Rock and Roman Reigns, the show was stacked from top to bottom. Triple H's influence was all over the card. Tighter storytelling, longer matches, and more wrestling-centric booking. But for all its glory, the game still left a few deserving names off the table. Let's be real, WrestleMania is the grandest stage of them all, and not everyone gets a spot. But there are some superstars who earned their place in lights this year, only to be passed over or left adrift in a multi-man match or backstage segment. Here are 6 WWE stars who didn't deserve to be ignored by Triple H for WrestleMania 41. Yeah, let's start with the most obvious one. Limelight has been one of the most organically over stars in WWE since late 2023. His charisma, crowd connection, and merch sales were screaming WrestleMania moment. And yet he was tossed into the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, again on SmackDown, and not even given a mic to cut a promo during Mania weekend. Knight's feud with Logan Paul was right there. It had mainstream appeal, mic battles galore, and the potential for a viral moment or two. Instead, Logan got a three-way with Kevin Owens and Austin Theory, which admittedly slapped, but Knight should have been in that spotlight. Let's just put this out there. Triple H has a soft spot for Japanese strong style and international talent. He booked Nakamura like a king in NXT and gave us that iconic entrance at TakeOver, Dallas. But on the WrestleMania 41 card, nowhere to be found. This is the same Shinsuke who carried much of Raw's early 2024 with his eerie, slow-burn feud with Seth Rollins. He reinvented himself as a haunting, poetic villain and put on physical clinics week after week. You'd think there'd be a payoff, right? Wrong. Nakamura was left off the card entirely, which feels like a slap in the face to his resurgence. A pre-show vignette or backstage cameo doesn't cut it when you're this good. The women's division had its high points at Mania 41. Rhea Ripley versus Becky Lynch was brutal and brilliant, and Bayley finally dethroned Io Sky. But while those two stories got the spotlight, others were left in the dark. One of the biggest snubs? Candice LeRae. Candice is one of the most respected women in the locker room. She's a ring general, a veteran, and has quietly delivered top-tier matches on Raw all year long. While Indy Hartwell got some attention in the women's tag title scene, Candice was nowhere to be found. This could have been her breakout Mania, maybe a women's ladder match, a tag team showcase, or even just a meaningful singles bout. But once again, Mrs. Wrestling is treated like a sidekick when she's capable of much more. Bronson Reed, aka Big Bronson, has had one of the most underrated runs on the Raw midcard. Whether tossing fools in battle royals or slamming Chad Gable into the mat like a human meteor, Reed has brought legitimacy back to the big man role. He's agile, powerful, and has a unique aura, something WWE's been missing. He could have been in a powerhouse clash with Sheamus, or maybe a triple threat involving Drew McIntyre and Gunther. Instead, Reed got a forgettable elimination in the US title #1 contenders match a few weeks before Mania, and that was it. If we're going to talk about missed potential, Shilai deserves a spotlight. Her brief heel turn on SmackDown was visually striking, those cinematic vignettes, her martial arts style, and the promise of something different. She felt like a fresh character who could disrupt the status quo in the women's division. The women's division needs depth and variety, and Chia has both. She brings international flair, a striking-based offense, and a mystique that WWE rarely taps into. This could have been a perfect time to showcase her in a gauntlet match or a rising star showcase. Instead, she was left back in catering. Look, Johnny Wrestling being ignored for a second straight WrestleMania is a travesty. The guy is a Triple H guy through and through, a 5-star match machine, a locker room leader, and someone who bleeds black and gold. So why has he been floating in mid-card purgatory? Sure, his DRO reunion with Tommaso Ciampa had some fun moments, and they had a nice tag match or two. But Mania 41 needed a work rate classic, and Gargano could have delivered it with anyone on the roster. Whether in a ladder match, an intercontinental title chase, or even a surprise open challenge, Johnny deserved better. Even a pre-show barn burner with someone like Ricochet or Dragon Lee would have lit the crowd up. Instead, Gargano was MIA, which feels downright criminal. Triple H is doing a lot of things right with WWE. The weekly product is stronger, the storytelling is deeper, and stars are being built for the long term. But even the King of Kings can make mistakes, and WrestleMania 41's snubs prove that. From breakout stars like LA Knight to loyal veterans like Candice and Johnny, these 6 WWE talents didn't just deserve a Mania moment, they earned it. Let's hope the next big show, maybe SummerSlam or even King of the Ring, gives them the justice they deserve. Because in the end, WrestleMania is where legends are made, and these 6 should have been part of the legend.